All right, well, it's really come to catch up with us, the fact that we have such a small squad. We're playing against Atalanta here on the road in the Champions League, and we are starting a team that is very, very injured and very much tired after the most recent international break. We need a win here. A win here would do a lot to help us get closer to that first position, which I think does include a bye. If I understand how the new Champions League works, I might be wrong, but it would be very, very nice to have a victory here. We've had one draw, one defeat, and one victory so far in the Champions League. It would be nice to get another win. And that defeat, of course, was that match against Real Madrid. And I mean, there's not much we can say about that. It just was not our day. That's all I can say about it. And the first thing we need to do is win the ball. Casemiro tries and does not succeed, and then that's the end of that highlight. So now we will take a step back and we'll wait and see what happens and see if we can get another good highlight going for us. As you could see there from that screen, all the players we have on the bench are just absolutely tired as all get out, and this is because during the international break, everybody was on international break. Everybody was off playing matches elsewhere. Here's Bobby Charlton back to Figueroa. Casemiro has the ball taken away from him easily, but Tresor is able to win it back to Duncan Edwards to Maradona. Down to Giggs. Giggs with it. Left side. Moves up, moves back to Bauer. Bauer is pretty tired, not going to play a full match. There's a pass intended for Bobby Charlton. He doesn't quite get around to it, and now we have to run back, make sure that we don't leave ourselves too open in the back, and we do. And that's Charles de Ketelare, who scores that header, and that makes it 1-0 for Atalanta. And this is exactly what we were worried about. And there was a man on him, by the way, back here. And who is this who's on him? Is that Giggs? Yeah, it is. And so Giggs does a very poor job marking his man, and the goal ends up going in. 1-0, we're down, and we better watch out. Hopefully we can get something going here. The worry, as I've said before, is that if we go to next season and we did poorly and this season didn't win a lot of silverware, we're going to wind up absolutely broke, which is going to make the second season of this probably the last season in this save, right? Because there's not much we can do. Maradona almost wins that ball, just a step too slow. Giggs, again, showing that he's having a real hard time defending anything. Edwards wins this, and it's passed over to Ederson for Atalanta, and that's out for another corner. So, I mean, they've just been hammering it on over and over and over again. We were dropped to third position here if we were to lose this match. So we need something. We need something better than this, and this is a match that makes me think there are a lot of guys who are in need of a fine because this looks really, really bad. Figueroa finally heads it out of the penalty area, but it's not enough. That's a wild sliding tackle, and there's no real need for it. And we still can't get a hold of the ball. And that is another goal for the same man. So it's 2-0, and I think it's Giggs again who allowed him to get in front of him. And that's a big, big problem for us. We look really, really bad so far, and Ryan Giggs, for whatever reason, is incapable of playing defense. Now look at that. Giggs is totally out of position, and is paying more attention to trying to go back for a counterattack than actually playing defense, and that's a problem. So we're going to demand more of these players, try to get something going. Here's Giggs with it again. Moves it up left side. Lobs one over. I guess it was intended for Bobby Charlton. I don't think that was deflected. Maybe it was. I just didn't see it. And so let's see what we can do to get the ball back. We've just given up possession easily, but they knock it back to us. Figueroa grabs it over to Leviashin. Back to Figueroa and up to Ronaldo. Back to Figueroa. Down to Tresor, over to Casemiro. Ronaldo now. Brings it up, moves it up to Bobby Charlton. And he passes back to Ronaldo. That's over to Maradona to Edwards, and he hammers that one off the post. And so it doesn't go in the end, but that was a pretty aggressive shot there by Edwards. Maradona set him up nicely. I'm sorry, it was off the crossbar. It's about as hard as you can possibly hit it off the crossbar. And so we're still down 2-0, and we don't have anything to show for all of our efforts. Giggs, as I said before, having a really, really poor match. And I'm really not happy with the way that things are going for him. I don't know if we have anyone to replace him. That's the problem. We'll take a look and see what we have, but it's going to be a little bit ugly. And that's a really poor pass by Cristiano Ronaldo. And so the youngsters are having a hard time. Leviashin with a great save, keeping that one out. But you would have thought that we'd come in here and we would just dominate every team with the lineup that we have, and we are certainly not doing that. We're having a lot of problems. And so the score remains 2-0, and we just haven't had any momentum, and they have the ball again, and this might be another goal. That's very, very close, and yeah, we're going to always press the danger man who scored twice against us. Let's see if we can weather another storm. And yeah, we do. That corner apparently did nothing. And one of those weird football manager things where it doesn't show you it for whatever reason it decides. But then a couple seconds later, they have another attack as our attempt on attacking their goal has proved utterly useless. And fortunately, that shot from up in the point is not very good, ends up over everybody's head. This is a really, really poor match so far from us. This is probably one of the worst matches that we've had because we should be dominating this team. And so we'll see if we can do this here. And it's going to be Ronaldo that we're really upset about, and Giggs is the other one. And let's see if we can take either one of those two out. Yeah, I think that Best will come on for Giggs. Ronaldo can come off, and Sancho will come on. Both of them are tired, but that's what it's going to have to be. So let's go ahead and do it. Looking towards others, if we want to make another change, yeah, we'll put Dennis Law on here for Bobby Charlton. Dennis Law has been kind of a good luck charm for us. Law over to Edwards as we start off with the ball. We need 2 goals, and we would prefer to have them quickly. And that's a poor pass to Sancho, and I hate to say it, but that might be a sign of things to come. Maradona here with a free kick, lobs this forward, and it just whiskers off of the top of the net, and that's kind of unfortunate. That was a really good chance and a good position. Best looking for Casemiro, it's a poor pass, and here's Muriel, who's way behind the defense. He must be offside, and there's no call. Which is a little bit surprising to me. He must have been offside. I don't know if we're going to get any replay of that or not. He didn't score a goal, so this is of the clear-cut chance, yeah, for them. He's got to be offside. I'm surprised that there's no call. Anyway, so it amounts to nothing. Trezor does actually a good job of recovering, but I'm surprised that there was no flag up for that. So we're able to win this one back, but not quite far back enough. Law, however, is able to go over and get it, and then he gives up possession right away. Figueroa knocks this out for a throw. So good job by Figueroa, and Law looks like he doesn't really know where he is. Here's another direct attack on goal. Fortunately for us, that one is wide. So let's see what we can do, see if we can get at least one back. Can we at least do that? Can we get 1 goal back? It'd be nice to get 1 goal back so I don't have to come out and levy more fines on these players. We already had quite a few of those. That one's up and just whiskers off the top of the net. So it's a problem. Trezor now over to Edwards. Edwards, and he's dispossessed, then gets it back to Trezor, over to Figueroa. Down to Casemiro, to Law, back to Figueroa. Over to Trezor now. Trezor back to Law, to Figueroa. So it's a little bit of a pattern, and we're going to keep it in this pattern. We don't have a lot of time for fancy passing patterns. We want to score goals. Pele finally over to Sancho, to Law, back to Sancho, and it's too many passes. Figueroa now with the ball over to Sancho, and there's the shot, and not necessarily the person that we want to shoot. It would be nice to sort of work the ball into the box a little bit more. I guess I probably should be telling the guys to do that. Trezor comes very close to scoring an own goal, and we need to get possession and keep it, and instead I think it was Maradona who threw himself in front of that shot, and Pele is looking tired, and I don't want to take him off, but we may need to. We might have no choice. And it's Maradona who wins this, and he wins it and just sort of sets it up for their attacker. So that was really, really poor. And yeah, we're having some problems. All right, so we'll pause this for a second, see if we can make a couple of changes. Everybody's tired, so Pele will come off. We'll put Fernandez on. And who's having a really bad match? Casemiro's having a bad match, so we'll put Eriksson on. Let's see what we can do there. The worst part about World Super League is just this, which is when you have an international break and then a match that happens like the day after it ends. And it makes me wish, that's a bad call on Fernandez. There's no way he was in the box. It makes me wish that we could just turn off international play so we could stop this from happening because you have a better team. Yeah, no penalty, obviously. And it's off the wall, so we're able to win through that. But yeah, it's frustrating when you have a better team, but because everybody's good, everybody ends up in international duty, and you wind up with matches like this one. So that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. This is not what I wanted to click. I wanted to click down here. It's going to be too little too late for us to demand more. And this is pretty poor for the amount of money we've spent on this team, the sort of squad that we have. And this time I'm actually convinced that it's probably not the tactic, since we've had so much success with this tactic in the past. I mean, we're looking at a team that, has been at least good enough up to this point, and here for some reason in this match, just as with the Real Madrid match, can't get it together and can't get it to work. It probably is a case of too many matches all at once. But it's a frustrating thing, because you look at this and you're thinking, I mean, come on, Pele hasn't scored a goal in I don't even know how many matches, right? What's up with that? How come suddenly he doesn't know how to score? So who knows? 2-0 is going to probably be the final score here, unless we get one back here, and it's not going to happen. It's Eriksson with it here from the back, over to Edwards, back to Best. It's like we don't even know how much time is left. Not exactly the most intelligent way to set up an attack, and that's going to be the end right here, and that's the final whistle. So we lose this one 2-1. We put up barely much of a fight. They had 55% of the possession, wasn't that bad, but a 0.45 XG for us is bad. Let's see if we can win the next one. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Bye.